A viral video claims this wheel has continued spinning for 3 full years, without slowing down and without anyone touching it. The creator insists that no electricity reaches the device, even though the wheel appears to keep a perfectly steady rhythm. There is supposedly no fuel, no falling weight, and no visible motor supplying the motion we see on screen. Then comes the extraordinary claim. After centuries of failure, this uploader says perpetual motion has finally been achieved. The promise is irresistible. The video collects 20 million views as people share what looks like impossible evidence. Some viewers celebrate a scientific revolution, while others search every frame for a wire, a cut, or a concealed mechanism. Before believing the conclusion, we need to ask a better question. Does the video actually show where the energy comes from? Perpetual motion means a machine receives one initial push and then continues forever, delivering motion without any additional energy. For centuries, inventors have imagined wheels, weights, magnets, fluids, and gears that might somehow keep themselves moving indefinitely. The search stretches back roughly 800 years, yet every design eventually encountered the same physical limits. Leonardo da Vinci carefully studied overbalanced wheels, hoping that shifting weights might keep one side permanently heavier than the other. His drawings also revealed the flaw. The weights that create torque on one side must be lifted again on the return path. Modern social media has revived the old dream, but short videos make hidden power sources and clever edits easier to conceal. We will examine 3 famous examples and use the same method each time. Trace the energy, inspect what is hidden, and check what the camera avoids. Our first exhibit is the magnetic fan, a device often presented as proof that permanent magnets can provide endless power. Magnets are arranged around the blades, so their attraction and repulsion appear to push the fan in one preferred direction. Once released, the blades begin turning, and the steady speed makes the setup look far more convincing than a simple hand push. The camera shows no cable and no obvious battery pack, encouraging viewers to assume that the magnets are doing all the work. But a magnetic field is not an unlimited fuel tank. A static arrangement cannot continuously provide net energy around a complete cycle. The correct investigation begins at the base, because that is where the video spends the least time and provides the fewest angles. A thin wooden platform looks harmless, yet it is thick enough to hide small electronics beneath the visible surface. When the base is examined closely, the mystery changes from impossible physics into a familiar problem of concealed components. A coin cell battery can fit inside the platform and supply electrical energy for much longer than a short demonstration lasts. A coil connected to that battery creates a controllable magnetic field, effectively turning the hidden circuit into an electromagnet. The electromagnet delivers timed pushes to the blades, while the visible permanent magnets provide a believable distraction for the audience. Magnets can store and redirect energy within a system, but they cannot manufacture new energy from nothing on every rotation. Our second exhibit is the endless marble track, where a ball rolls downhill and somehow returns to its original height. Gravity easily explains the downward journey. The marble converts gravitational potential energy into speed as it descends. The unexplained part is the climb, because raising the marble requires at least as much energy as the fall released. Most versions rely on one of 2 tricks, and investigators should check both the video timeline and the physical track. The first possibility is editing. A clean cut can remove the moment when a person resets the marble by hand. Repeating only the successful section creates a seamless loop, especially when the beginning and ending frames look almost identical. The second possibility is a hidden electromagnet mounted below the track, outside the audience's normal viewing angle. A sensor detects the approaching metal marble and briefly energizes the coil, giving the ball an extra push uphill. When replica devices are opened, investigators often find sensors, coils, wires, and a power source concealed beneath the decorative surface. Our third exhibit is the self-running fountain, where falling water appears to return upward without a visible pump. Water leaving the upper vessel converts height into motion, so the downward stream is completely ordinary. The mystery begins when another stream rises, apparently restoring the water to the same height from which it started. Because the pump is not visible, viewers may assume that water pressure alone can maintain the cycle forever. There is an honest historical device that creates this effect. It is called Heron's Fountain, after the ancient engineer hero of Alexandria. The design is nearly 2,000 years old and remains a beautiful demonstration of air pressure and communicating vessels. As water enters a sealed lower container, it compresses trapped air and transfers pressure through a connecting tube. That pressure pushes water from a second container upward, producing a fountain even though no mechanical pump is visible. But the pressure difference is finite, so the fountain stops. Versions advertised as endless usually hide an electric pump and return hose. After 3 exhibits, the central question remains: why has every genuine attempt at perpetual motion failed? The answer is not a lack of creativity or engineering skill. The proposed machines conflict with fundamental laws of physics. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot appear from nowhere inside an isolated system. Energy also cannot simply vanish. When it seems lost, it has changed into another form that may be harder to use. Motion can become electrical energy, sound, deformation, or heat, but the total energy still has to balance. If a machine continues moving, useful energy must be entering through a battery, a falling weight, sunlight, airflow, heat, or another source. The source may be tiny or carefully hidden, but it cannot be absent while the machine continuously performs work. That is why the phrase free energy is misleading. Useful output always has a physical cost somewhere in the complete system. No laboratory, inventor, or viral video has demonstrated a machine that produces unlimited work without an energy input. The second law introduces an additional obstacle called entropy, which describes why useful energy spreads into less useful forms. Every bearing, axle, gear, wire, and moving surface experiences some resistance, even when engineers reduce friction dramatically. Friction converts organized mechanical motion into microscopic, disordered movement among atoms and molecules. We experience that scattered microscopic motion as heat, which escapes into the machine and the surrounding air. Imagine supplying 100 units of useful energy to a real mechanism at the beginning of a cycle. After friction, vibration, electrical resistance, and air drag, fewer than 100 useful units remain available for the next cycle. The next cycle loses a little more, then the next loses more again. The decline may be slow, but it never reverses itself for free. Eventually, the stored useful energy is exhausted, the motion fades, and the machine stops unless an outside source replenishes it. Extraordinary perpetual motion claims have been examined by scientists, engineers, investors, patent experts, and curious builders for generations. Every verified test has revealed an external input, stored energy, measurement error, hidden mechanism, or a device that simply winds down. The number of independently verified perpetual motion machines remains exactly 0, despite centuries of prizes, publicity, and financial incentives. This subject is not harmless entertainment when impossible claims are used to collect money from people who expect a revolutionary generator. Free energy scams still appear today, often wrapped in scientific language, dramatic demonstrations, and promises that experts are hiding the truth. Potential investors may be shown a sealed prototype, selective measurements, or a short video instead of a transparent independent test. You can protect yourself with one simple habit. Stop watching the impressive motion and begin tracing the complete energy path. Ask where the energy enters, how much enters, what work comes out, and whether every connection and hidden compartment has been inspected. If the presenter cannot answer clearly, demand a longer independent test with the device isolated from wires, airflow, vibration, and remote control. When the explanation disappears behind secrecy, look for the ordinary answer: a concealed battery, motor, pump, edit, or stored mechanical energy. Stay curious, but make curiosity rigorous. Follow the energy, test the claim, and keep investigating until the entire system is visible.